Welcome, family, to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this video podcast with your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you do this because we want others to know that we're here. Help make this video go viral by posting it on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and your Twitter page. This video podcast is available in three forms: audio, video, and as a written text in order for us to reach our audience. In order to follow along with my presentation, I strongly recommend everyone on my Facebook friends list to please exchange emails with me so that I can email you everything I do online. Also, I would like for my listeners to follow me on my Medium page. This is where I post my actual speech. I also provide my sources under Show and Prove. I recommend that you watch the video clips I provide to fully understand what's happening in America. I use this platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving Black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents and skills to my listeners from around the globe. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue during COVID-19. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships and grants, housing, and legal services, all for free. I would like to personally invite everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups to our upcoming Facebook Live event entitled Question: Black Grassroots and the Global African Family. When are we going to get this film project fully funded and made? Saturday, July 30th at 2 p.m. through 4 p.m. American Central Time, 3 o'clock p.m. Canada Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 8 p.m. UK Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time. If you would like to be on the panel, just send me a message to my Facebook inbox for additional information. If you are unable to participate, then please share my Facebook Live event with your friends and leave a public comment about the topic on my YouTube page and on my Facebook page. This will help get the ball rolling. I don't plan on doing this another 30 years. I've been on Facebook for 18 years. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for our racial group in America. The reason why we are hosting these monthly virtual conferences is to encourage our listeners from around the globe to support our film project. The proceeds from the film will help put me in a better position financially to hire qualified Black middle class professionals, buy office equipment, and purchase property for our Christian business, Grekai of Chicago, which is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. Eventually, we will launch our African and Caribbean tours so that we can reconnect the diaspora with continental Africans from my African group, Grekai of Africa. We aim to set up chapters in 10 African nations so that we can host international trade among our people. This will be a win-win situation for our people who are trapped in American ghettos, because we can sell our films, artwork, and music to our brothers and sisters on the continent and in the Caribbean, as well as in Brazil. In contrast, I will bring the best of the diaspora with me during our African tours to meet African entrepreneurs and match them with Black entrepreneurs and African artists with Black artists. So African entrepreneurs can sell their products and their products like beauty supplies, artwork, food, etc. This will also help improve the African economy because Black Americans as a collective have $1 trillion spending power. At this point, all I have is my revised book, my virtual store, and my faith that God will connect me with brave, inspired Black people, African people, to come forth and work with me in turning my vision and plan into a reality. Those of you who are active group members on my online groups, it's time for us to take our story to the next level, that is the big screen, in order to reach the global African family and build the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago collectively. As of now, only 3 people out of 1,560 people on my Facebook friends list have donated to our film project. That's not cool and that's not fair. If you don't care about our Black youth in America, then delete me off your friends list now. Those of you who will be part of our film project will go down in history with me and Sister Renee. I'm using GoFundMe as a crowdfunding source so that everyone knows exactly where the funding is going towards. Once we reach 200,000, then we will work on doing the movie trailer. Our goal is to raise 500,000 in order to make a quality Black empowerment film based on my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition. It's available on Amazon. The title of the film is Hood Liberator, Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. The sequel, African Liberator, Battle Against the Colonized Mindset, will be made in South Africa. Without support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to make my films and do my job. The ball is in their hands. Because I've done all I can do on my part. I invested 30 years trying to get this thing popping. Instructions on how to participate on the show. First, watch my video podcast. This is called Side A, which after I finish my presentation, then I will open up the phone lines through Facebook Messenger. This is called Side B. You can interact with me in real time either by voice call by clicking on the phone icon or by video call by clicking on the camera icon. Today's topic of discussion is as follows. Exposing racial targeting of Black people in America. The importance of Black economic empowerment. Black immigrants desire the American dream just like everyone else. And why is Black leadership in America ineffective? Our first topic. Exposing racial targeting of Black people in America. Look, family, we really got to do more than just sit here and tweet about the issues that's taking place in this country. It's too bad that we don't have the numbers to hold a march on Washington. What we can do is write our state representatives and our congressmen to tell them that we need an anti-Black hate crime bill and reparations because we're being racially targeted by white supremacist road cops in law enforcement. Also, I cite that information under Show and Prove on my Medium transcript. We need reparations in order to reverse the effects of slavery in the forms of redistribution of land, compensation, Black business opportunities. Then there can be an even playing field for Black people in America. Notice how these white supremacists are doing these mass shootings in schools, churches, grocery stores, and parades. They are not getting the Jalen Walker treatment. There's too many white supremacists working in law enforcement and in the criminal justice system. These racial targeting that white supremacist road cops are doing is not right and is unacceptable. In Akron, Ohio, members of the police department brutally murdered our young brother by the name of Jalen Walker. The police have released body cam footage showing multiple police officers approaching Walker's vehicle. He decided to jump out of his vehicle and began running. And unarmed, they shot towards him 90 times. He was hit by 60 bullets. 12 were in his head, all over a minor traffic stop. This racism is real out here. One thing I noticed in the video, they didn't show the interaction between Jalen Walker and the police. According to the police, they said he began shooting at them when they tried to pull him over. Ladies and gentlemen, this was an execution. This should be that wake-up call to Black America nationwide. There's absolutely no justification for how they executed this brother. The police said they found a gun in his car. Ohio is an open carry state. What pissed me off was a black woman at the rally start telling black men to vote. We're under a Democratic administration, a Democratic Senate, a Democratic House, and Ohio is a Democratic city and state. Black Americans voted for Joe Biden, and then the Afghan refugees, illegal immigrants, and Ukrainian refugees all receive benefits and resources. The Asians got a hate crime bill and resources. The LGBT got protection and resources, but nothing for our group. The Biden administration approved the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, but it lacks teeth. One of the things this bill was supposed to do is prevent racial profiling by law enforcement. It was also supposed to limit unnecessary use of force by police officers. It restricts chokeholds and no-knock warrants. They did not include qualified immunity in the bill. The Congressional Black Caucus knew that this bill was just for show and symbolism. This bill leaves black people unprotected when encountering police officers. American financial elites have black Americans as a collective poor and destituted. They're the reason why we're in these conditions in the first place. The whole world condemned America because of what law enforcement did to George Floyd. America goes around the world bragging about its human rights record and being the leader of the free world. When countries like China call out America for violating black Americans' human rights, all you need to say is, I agree. Use China to embarrass our black politician who is not speaking out about this publicly, but they can talk about everything else. I'll bring anyone on this show who is advocating for black people. If other countries are speaking out on our behalf, then we need to promote that for our advantage. The new Black Panthers were at the rallies, standing around with guns. That means nothing. It's only for display. Many of those guys are trying to entrap other black men into catching a case. Law enforcement put them out there to give an illusion there's black men who are going to put in work. That's an old trick out of the 60s playbook. Also be aware of people online talking about what we need to do. If you come across people like that, know that they are bought and paid for to entrap you. For example, Tupac's mother, Afina Shakur, was a member of the Black Panthers. She ended up getting indicted and was known as Panther 21 Trial. COINTELPRO was a series of covert and illegal projects conducted by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigations aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting domestic American political organizations like the Black Panthers. Afina Shakur represented herself in court and was allowed to cross-examine Ralph White, who was a paid agent to infiltrate the Black Panthers. He admitted he was planting the bombs. All of the charges were dropped. The Asian guy who was part of the Black Panthers, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm just going to say his first name, Richard. If you want to know more about him, just go to my Medium transcript and you can find that information. He was a FBI informant. What's understood does not need to be explained. Another example is the case of Takari. He made a plea deal with the prosecutor in exchange to turn witness against his own crew. Now they are being sent up the river. We have to stop being in denial. These are racial executions against Black people. Where are the Black celebrities? Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic, the importance of Black economic empowerment. Like Moses, he used his vision of the promised land to mobilize his people for a 40-year journey to a land upon which Jews built functional communities, families, commerce, schools, and a strong sense of community. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago aimed to become the heart of the Black community by focusing on strengthening the Black family while improving the Black community by forming an alliance with Africa, the Caribbean, and Brazil. America is balkanizing along racial, economic, and religious lines. The financial elites are allowing different groups to come to compete for resources and political power. For example, Latinos are assembling their economics and political intentions behind their culture. As more and more people from around the world immigrate to America, the competition for resources will intensify. The main reason why immigrants come to America is for a better quality of life and to advance economically. Many non-Black immigrants open their businesses in Black community because it's easily penetrated and there are lots of consumers who are willing to spend their money. Black neighborhood, pay close attention to who owns the business. Usually you will find a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese nail salon. Literally every business is owned by someone who is non-Black. Economics is culture. For example, your culture is I'm gonna look for a job working for the man. That's a slave culture. I get called uppity all the time just because I say this platform is for intelligent Black people. Our motto is intelligence over ignorance. One benefit of Jim Crow was it forced Black people to work together. We built a vibrant culture. The push for social integration and cultural assimilation caused Black people to abandon their businesses, communities, culture, and code of conduct. My question to my listeners, have Black culture gotten better or worse since social integration? I believe that we have to have our own space, separate conversation about these sensitive issues and not let the conversation be driven by the white agenda, the liberal agenda, or the Democratic agenda. It has to be driven by the Black agenda. In this space, we focus on solving Black issues in America. When we expand to Africa, we will focus on solving African issues. When we expand to the Caribbean, we will focus on solving Caribbean issues. And when we expand to Brazil, we will focus on solving Brazilian issues. How can anyone live in a country for 403 years without resolving their issues? I found a video entitled, quote, Atlanta Mayor Backs Approval of Police Training Facility, unquote. You can watch the Entire video clip on my Medium transcript under Show and Prove. Basically, in Atlanta City, leaders are trying to create a city within a city called Cop City. They're going to put $90 million of taxpayers' money towards building up this city. This is what our so-called black leaders do. They allocate resources away from the black community, but they can give law enforcement a blank check. In layman terms, they are going to create a mock city so that they can practice urban warfare against poor blacks. The Democrats have been elevating certain groups and individuals who look like us and placing them in media to target us and attack our culture. We have to start cleaning house, beginning with the boule classes. People like Roland Martin, who is bought and paid for by the financial elites and is working against our interests. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our third topic: black immigrants desire the American dream just like everyone else. Before we jump into the topic, I'm going to give this disclaimer. I am, by definition, DAS, descendants of American slaves, but I am African first. I agree, there is a blood debt owed to DAS by the American government. I believe immigrants should come to America, learn the skills they need, then return back to their homeland and develop their countries. Some people get offended by that. I don't know why. For example, Ghana, Jamaica, and Nigeria, these nations are gonna get better, and it's not gonna get better if they continue to experience brain drain, meaning all of their smart and talented people leave their nation. This is where I disagree with ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, and FBA, Foundational Black Americans. I'm not going to keep saying black immigrants have fled their country or we fought for them to have an opportunity to enter the United States of America. On this platform, we welcome black immigrants from Africa and from the Caribbean and Brazil. I am having a hard time trying to get black Americans on board to work with me and Sister Renee. That's why I'm reaching out to the global African family on the continent and here in America, specifically in Chicago. Please leave a public comment about the Facebook page, on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our fourth topic: why is black leadership in America ineffective? As I mentioned in my revised book, our black leaders are cherry-picked by the financial elites. They are not people who we elect. They are not screened, and they don't have our best interests in mind. Truth be told, a lot of our people are not politically educated. It's easy to brainwash them with talking points from leaders and Congressional Black Caucus. They don't push a black agenda. Instead, they promote a democratic agenda. For example, I warned black Americans during the 2020 election about Joe Biden's track record, that he was a segregationist for the past 50 years. He destroyed thousands of black families through his policies and the 94 crime bill, which gave rise to mass incarceration of black people. Yet black people still voted for him. And now look at the mess we're in. I found 2 video interviews about Hosea Williams. I encourage my listeners to go to my Medium transcript and scroll down until you find his video under Show and Prove. In the first video, entitled Hosea Williams Tells Stories of MLK Assassination, Hosea Williams explained that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. warned them about the government and how they will try to win them over by giving them political positions and funding their organizations. This is the MLK Jr. the mainstream media don't tell us about. the way these black leaders who are in office now have exploited Dr. King Jr.'s death for their own selfish gain. When you watch the second video, you will get a better understanding about how our black leaders sold us out for personal gain. Hosea Williams said the greatest political enemy of black people were the elected black officials who are selling us out. He said MLK Jr. told him that black people in America would never be free until we control our fair share of the economy. When he started focusing on economics, that's when the financial elites took him out. Like I said many times before, black people are worse off now in Chicago and across the United States under these black sellouts than we were before social integration. I watched a documentary about East Lake Meadows, which was a notorious housing project in Atlanta. East Lake Meadows now is completely gentrified. Housing ranges from $600,000 and up. I'm about connecting with other like-minded black people, African people, and others. That's where I'm at. I'm open to having conversation with anyone as long as they're productive. We can't save all black Americans because not all black Americans want to be saved. So at this point, I'm just trying to connect with other like-minded people that is interested in working with me and turning my vision and plan into a reality so that I can turn this business over to qualified black middle-class professionals and take my talents and skills to the continent. This is what I want to be remembered for. If you're not a member, all we can do is pray for you and show you tough love. I am only responsible for my members. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. So what I'm going to do at this point in time is that I'm going to wait around for about 15 minutes. And the phone lines, I'm going to open up the phone lines now. But if I don't hear from anyone within 15 minutes, then, we're just going to call it a day. But again, I'm not doing this for my health. I'm not doing this to be popular. I'm not doing this for people to like me or for me to be accepted. I'm doing this to try to connect with brave and smart black people that's tired of being tired. These black politicians have failed us big time. That's what I talked about in my revised book. Black people always ask me when I used to do street ministry, Emmanuel, so what is the solutions? And I've been telling them the solutions. Malcolm X gave the solutions. Marcus Garvey, Dr. Clark Anderson, and even Dr. King. Many black people have been writing books and everything trying to tell black people the solutions. But they didn't listen to them. And even myself. I wrote my revised book. It's been on Amazon for 10 years. And it's still barely selling. And so that's how come I have to do a film. Because unfortunately a lot of our people don't like to read. And I want to be able to, just reach people where they're at. And again, the proceeds from the film, that's what's going to help open the doors for me to go ahead and hire my staff, purchase property, and get this thing popping here in the city of Chicago. And we're going to check everybody's paperwork from the get-go. Because I'm not trying to affiliate with everybody. At this point, I'm not associated or affiliated with anyone. This organization is independent. And I only want to work with black families that want more out of life, point blank. I'm not going over to the inner cities just to, go over there to make myself feel good. I'm going over there to try to make a positive difference in people's lives, those that want it. I want to be able to make sure before I come to Africa that I will be able to sustain myself in Africa through this Christian business, because I want to expand it in South Africa first to get our foot over there, and then expand to 9 other African nations. So that's the game plan. I'm 30 years behind schedule because Black America refused to work with me and to heed my vision. And that's okay. It is what it is. But one thing for sure, I am not giving up on the vision that my Creator has given me. And I am going to turn it over to those that I feel that can make sure that this organization is going to be effective and successful, even when I am deceased. And so that's all I'm trying to get popping here in America. Because when I go to Africa, I want to focus on, doing the best that we can to help our brothers and sisters on the continent, as well as to encourage the diaspora to come on and see for themselves, so that way they can have options rather than sitting up here being bogged down in America and being treated like 3rd, 4th, and 5th class citizens. That's real. Alright, so with all that being said, phone lines are now open.